Ahoy, mateys! Setting sail with Final Fantasy, avast ye, and gather round for a tale of epic proportions. Final Fantasy, a name that echoes through the taverns of gaming, be a sprawling saga. It's a tapestry woven with threads of bravery, betrayal, and the eternal battle between light and darkness. For over 3 decades, this here series has captured our imaginations. It's a world of magic and machines where ancient evils clash with modern heroes. Each Final Fantasy game be its own story, see? Yet, certain themes run through them all like a golden thread. We got crystals, powerful artifacts tied to the fate of the world. Then there's the chosen ones, heroes destined to rise against impossible odds. And let's not forget the summons, mighty beings from beyond, answering the call to aid our heroes. Now pour yourselves another pint, me hearties, because here's where things get interesting. You see, beneath the surface of these fantastical tales lies a current of something familiar. It's the echoes of stories we've heard before, tales whispered from generation to generation. I'm talking about the timeless narratives of Christian mythos. Now, I ain't saying Final Fantasy be a Sunday school lesson, mind you, but there be a certain kinship between its characters and the figures we find in Christian lore. Take the Espers, for instance. These powerful beings, often trapped or misunderstood, bear a striking resemblance to angels. They're beings of pure energy, capable of immense power, often caught in the crossfire between good and evil. And speaking of evil, let's not forget the villains. Final Fantasy has its fair share of temptresses, fallen angels, and downright demonic entities. Sephiroth, with his silver hair and god complex, calls to mind Lucifer himself, cast down from grace. Even the heroes themselves echo familiar archetypes. We got Cloud, a tortured soul seeking redemption, much like a certain biblical figure who carried a heavy burden. And then there's Yuna, a young woman willing to sacrifice herself for the greater good. Sound familiar? It ain't just the characters, mind you. The very stories themselves often mirror themes and events found within Christian mythology. Take the Garden of Eden, for example. This paradise lost resonates throughout Final Fantasy, from lush hidden lands to the very idea of a world thrown into chaos by a single tragic fall. Then there's the whole apocalypse thing. Let's be honest, Final Fantasy loves a good end-of-the-world scenario. Floods, plagues, fiery apocalypses, you name it, they've got it. And who could forget the recurring motif of sacrifice? Time and again, our heroes face impossible choices, offering themselves up to save the world, just like a certain someone we know. Section 4, From Morality to Messiahs. Christian themes in Final Fantasy. But the connections run deeper than just characters and plot points, me hearties. Final Fantasy grapples with some of the same hefty themes that lie at the heart of Christian thought. Good versus evil, free will versus destiny, the nature of sacrifice. These are questions that have echoed through philosophy and religion for centuries. For example, several games explore the concept of sin and redemption. Characters wrestle with their past mistakes, seeking atonement for their actions. This journey towards forgiveness mirrors the Christian emphasis on repentance and God's mercy. And then there's the whole messianic archetype. Chosen heroes destined to save the world from ultimate evil? Sounds a tad familiar, doesn't it? Final Fantasy doesn't shy away from exploring these themes, albeit with its own unique twist. Section 5, more than just pixels and plots, a deeper dive. Now, some might say it's all just coincidence, but I reckon there's more to it than that. See, stories don't exist in a vacuum. They're shaped by the cultures and beliefs of the folks who create them. And since Final Fantasy comes from Japan, a culture steeped in mythology and symbolism, it stands to reason that these universal themes would find their way into the games. More than that, these themes resonate with us, the players. We connect with stories about good versus evil, sacrifice and redemption, because they speak to something deep within the human experience. These are universal truths, regardless of your faith or background.